Welcome everybody to another episode of Exploring Your Name. I'm Luke,
I'm Dustin.
and today we are going to be talking about fairies, little people, and gnomes.
Yeah, yeah. So, first off, you wanted to tell me about the differences between what was it, Disney fairies and
Disney fairies and real fairies.
okay, what do you mean?
Because there's a big difference, like Tinkerbell and stuff like Disney type fairies. You get what I'm saying? Like
Kind of.
Tinkerbell,
Oh yeah.
type of fairies,
Hmm.
other fairies that are like Disney.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a big difference between them, believe it or not.
What's the difference?
Okay, so the Disney fairies, everybody knows, are small winged, glowing humanoid like creatures with bright lights, glittery wings, and like nice outfits. And real fairies can be human sized, small light orbs, or even shapeshifters.
Wait, so they're not all small?
No, sometimes they can be beautiful and angelic, like a Disney fairy, but sometimes they could be seen as eerie and unsettling creatures.
That's interesting. See, I didn't see anything about them being. See what I was finding was all like little, like small, like between a foot to 3 feet. So that's interesting. Now, do you think that that kind of goes alongside with what people describe to be angels?
Or it could possibly be. But I mean, they could also be human sized, like little creatures as well. They're
Yeah,
not all just big people. And
right.
their behaviors are completely different too.
Well, see, I was seeing it depends.
Yes, it depends on the how the humans treat them.
Right,
Yes.
right. So, did you get into the origin of it at all? Did you see like how far back it went? What's happening?
What?
Oh, it's storming
Yeah.
or hailing or something. I don't know. Something was like hitting the window. I was like, what? My house, what's happening?
I did get into the origins of them as well.
Okay.
But I found it interesting that real fairies can be tricksters, and they often are known to abduct people, which could go along with like the little people that we'll be talking about later. So
I
there,
cut out for a second. I don't know what you said because I lost like 2 seconds. Everything froze, and then here we're back. Okay, so tricksters,
tricksters, and they abduct people.
they abduct people. Now I seen little people like
Yeah,
the little people abducting.
and they
That's
can cause mischief.
they're mischievous. I did see a lot of that as well. So what I found interesting was that not only was it in like European folklore, Celtic, those kinds of things, but I was seeing it in other places too, other cultures, other folklore that and I think I've said that before where it's like it's interesting to me to see other things like have similarities between their beliefs or the things that they wrote about or seen or whatever. um
Yeah.
but I what I was seeing was that there's different types.
Hmm.
There's and they all kind of are like protect, but not. I don't want to say they're all kind of, but like they're guardians of the forest or
Yeah.
guardians of nature, protectors of forests and rivers and things like that.
Hmm.
Now,
Absolutely. Yeah.
do you remember? Do you remember we talked about the Duende before?
Yes.
So this kind of falls in that category.
Okay.
So in the Philippines, for those that don't know, there is a belief in little people that are still alive today, like, and they call them duende. Or there's also Nuno Sapunso, I think is how you pronounce it, which means old man of the mound. These tiny beings are said to live in like ant hills and under roots or beneath old trees, and if you disturb their home, they are yeah, if you disturb their home, they can bless you or curse you. So that doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like you would want to not disturb their home to be blessed, but if you want cursed, then you would do the
You would
opposite of
destroy the
that.
home, yeah.
Yeah, but many Filipinos, whenever they pass by these mounds or like the trees and things like that, certain I guess certain trees that maybe they would consider to be old, they would say "tabi tabi po," meaning "excuse me, please move aside," and that's whenever they're walking near the tree or the mound, just in case one of those beings are nearby, and it's like a respect thing to kind of be like, I recognize you. I'm not here to be, I'm here to be respectful.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. Can you hear the rain?
I cannot now.
No, it was
No,
coming down pretty good there for a minute.
no, I can't hear it.
So, did you find anything like any kind of encounters or anything with any of these kinds of beings?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go shut my door real quick.
Sure. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I there's some modern encounters. Two girls claim to have photographed a real fairy near their homes. The fairies widely believe the first 11 by even by Arthur Conan Doyle. So I guess he's seen these fairies and he's like, yeah, that looks like a fairy. But decades later, the girls admitted they faked it. Most of them are their size.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I should have got a little bit first before I say anything.
I was gonna
Um,
say I do remember reading about it, but they did later say that it was a hoax.
there's reports in Ireland, um, small human figures, lights, and shadowy beings in the woods or gardens. Iceland, there's been some encounters in Iceland, um, by like rocky areas. And some paranormal investigators describe as fairies as energy based or entities, or interdimensional entities, possibly related to orb spirits and stuff like that, which I find interesting. It could possibly be an interdimensional creature.
I would, have to second that. I I don't know. I think a lot of these things are spiritual in nature. I think that, like we've talked
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
the last time, yeah, you have to be in the right kind of mindset,
Mhm.
the state of mind to be able to experience some of these things. Um, but I do have, where is it at? Hold on, I got to pull the screen up. I'm losing it. I do have a Reddit post
Okay,
from somebody from Ireland that
interesting. We talked
has
about
had
that too.
yeah, that has had quite a few experiences with little people. So they say when they were about 7, they were staring out their back window from the upstairs landing in their old house. Um, they were mesmerized as they looked out. Usually, they would see like their backyard of other people's houses and the great big gray building, which was the handball alley.
Hmm.
He says, I squeezed my eyes closed and opened again because in the usual place of the surroundings was just fields of beautiful green grass, soft rocks dotted around pools of blue water, and flowers upon flowers swaying in what appeared to be a gentle wind. Very strange. I've never seen this before. I thought to my young self. Then I noticed a movement in my back garden. What I seen next startled me. Sitting on our defunct flower bed was a a man the size of a baby doll. He was wearing green trousers, a waistcoat, and jacket. And what always stuck with me was his shoes. Black as the ace of spades with two big shiny gold buckles. He was sitting there looking at his shoe when his head bolted up. He looked at me and then he smiled and vanished. The view behind my back garden turned back into its mundane self. To this day, I don't know what happened, how it happened, or can't make head nor tail of what happened, but I'm glad I got my first and only leprechaun experience. What do you think about that?
That's interesting you say that because I saw something earlier where they call it fairy rings, where like you can step into it and you like go to like a different world.
Yeah, so I've seen and heard like the stairs in the woods, the stairs that lead to nothing. They say that that's like a fairy portal or a fairy entrance or whatever. Or if there's um like a ring of mushrooms, they call those fairy rings. And they
Now,
say
if
that if
you
you
seen a thing of steps in the middle of the woods, would you walk up them?
yeah, probably.
Now, what if you vanish and you never come back? Is
I mean,
that a chance you're willing to take?
it is obviously because I don't believe that that would happen. But if it did, by the s- you know,
I'll,
happenstance,
I'll come back and save you.
you're gonna.
I'll
How are
come
you gonna
through and
do
save
that?
you. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to get out and you just like maybe the ring just closes for you and it stays open for me. And I'll just pull you through.
You're the chosen one. So this guy has more experiences that he writes about.
We should
The,
reach out to him.
I don't know if I'd be able to get a hold of him. This was posted a long time
Oh,
ago.
was it?
Yeah, but he says I was on a little holiday with the Girl Guides. He says for you American folks, the Girl Guides is like the Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually in the Isle of Man that was overseas. We went on a little tour of the Isle and we went to this little shop selling trinkets and souvenirs. I remember specifically picking out some nice tea towels from my granny's back home. As you know, Irish grannies love an owl holiday tea towel. I don't know what that means. As we packed our goods safely back in our bags, we headed on the bus back into the village we were staying in. Our bus slowed down as we came to a bridge. Our guide leader pointed out to a sign, and we all rushed to the window of the bus to read it. On the sign, it said something along the lines of, "Beware, you are about to cross a fairy bridge. Some people have experiences, some of their items and their vehicles been taken or tricks being played." Everyone on the bus laughed, jeered, or scoffed at this sign. Except for me. I knew of the fairies because 3 years prior to this event, I had the leprechaun experience. So on we go over the bridge. It just felt like going over any old bridge. Everyone laughed. Then we went on about our journey back into the village. When we arrived back at the dorms we were staying in, I opened my bag to see my purchases that was neatly tucked under some day stuff. Well, what I see next made my eyes drop. There in the bag was nothing. The tea towels were gone. Now, I specifically sat the bag on my knee on the bus ride home, and who in their right mind would steal two tea towels? They were like a pound each. Nothing exciting, just a little bit of, I don't even know how to pronounce that word. But what do you think about that? I've heard stories of like little people or fairies or gnomes or whatever, like you said, being a trickster, being mischievous.
Yeah, and funny that you say that. Um, most of the hot spots are over in the type of region, like
And
Scotland, Ireland, and I have a couple locations that are very hot spots. Um, Fairy Glen, Isle of the Sky, in Scotland. Um, Hill of Tierra, I can't even pronounce this word. Like some beach in Iceland. Um, and that is associated with elves and hidden people in Dor Hill in Scotland.
See,
So
that's
it's all mostly
European.
European. I wonder if it's like a European thing.
Well, I can't. I don't think I saved it, but there was this post or article that I'd seen that was talking about the origins and how the Fey folk and humans used to live together. You know, we used to coexist, and I don't remember exactly what it was. If it was like the way of living that the humans were, you know, like their way of living was angering these beings, so they fled into the forests and into the trees and the bushes and things like that, and you know, claimed refuge there, and has separated from our
Community.
society or community or whatever you want to call it. But what's interesting, Renee actually showed me this video the other day that talks about a white stag.
Hmm.
Now, I guess the legend is that there was no more white stags in, it's like Scotland or something like that. And the legend was is whenever the white stag returns, so will the fae. And there has been a white stag that's been spotted in, you know, that area recently.
That's interesting. It's in a stag like a deer for
Uh
people who
huh.
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But this guy has more.
Jesus.
He says, my partner's house he grew up in is in rural Donegal. Oh, maybe it's a woman. I'm not judging. By rural, I mean surrounding by mountains, water, cows, sheep, one church, and no shops. Could be a great setting for a horror movie at night because it's that quiet. Neighbors are very far apart, so the chance of the neighbors hearing you scream is very slim, may I add. Now you get the idea of how rural it is now. Now I begin to tell the tale. 'Twas 3 a.m., the witching hour, and my partner was lifted out of his bed by the sounds of laughing and giggling. He said to himself, my mother and father is out cold. Who is it making the noise? He strained his ears to listen, and what he heard next was amazing. A drumming, a bit of fiddling, the pipes a calling, and the important part of hearing great Irish music was the singing and laughter out of the people enjoying it. He got up to see what was the commotion, and he walked around his bungalow house. His parents sound asleep. He walks out the front door. No, nothing. Peace and quiet like expected. He walks out the back door and hears the sound. He follows the sound and is led to the edge of his garden that backs onto a field with a mound. He shone his torch, but nothing. He felt like the noise was coming beneath him, so he got down and pressed his ears to the ground. Lo and behold, the sound was coming from under the ground. The general direction of the for the party and the music was in the small mound or hump in the field. He freaked out and skidded back into the house, and I slept and I and leapt into the bed. 'Twas a couple of weeks later I was reading a book on Irish paranormal and fairy stories, and lo and behold, the one place that was continuously mentioned for fairy sightings was the area where my partner had lived.
Interesting. Now, if I was a fairy or any small people like that, if I was able to live underground, that's probably where the safest place would be to live.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. But that's interesting though, because that kind of goes along with what I was saying about how they went into hiding.
Uh huh. That does make a lot of sense. And the thing I thought was weird too is that you said a mound.
Hmm. A mound.
Hmm.
What do you find interesting in that?
Just like all the activity that we like that goes on around mounds, like paranormal activity, just a whole bunch of things around mounds.
Oh, okay. I see. Like the mounds in Moundsville and that kind of thing.
Just mounds in general.
Just mounds in general. I don't know. Wonder why.
Maybe connected.
It could be.
What if I know this goes off this goes way off um Joe's theory. But what if mounds are like little villages for these type of creatures?
Could be.
Maybe not even the big mounds, like the one down in Mound, so but maybe like little hills and stuff like that. What if there's like homes to like these type of creatures?
I mean, it could be. That guy heard the partying in the mound, so
It's crazy.
that is crazy to think. I mean, the little people. I was watching a documentary on that. I think it was in Alaska or something like that. Um, the little people, they live up in the mountains, and they were talking about stories of people doing excavating and mining and things like that, and finding small
Little
tools.
tools.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So I have one more.
One more
Uh,
story.
one more story.
Okay.
This one is from the Philippines. So this is a duende story.
Duende.
Says living in the Philippines, I have gotten closer to paranormal phenomena than I ever would have imagined. I lived in a house that was shared with a traditional creature called a duende. Many people claimed they saw doors opening and closing by themselves, but I chalked it up all up to the imagination and or gusts of wind until it happened to me. I went into the bathroom to change shorts and immediately felt someone trying to push open the door from the outside. I thought it was someone in the house. I shouted, "Hey, someone's in here," and pushed back against the door. For 2 seconds, I felt someone strong pushing back against me. Then suddenly, no pressure at all. Immediately, I opened the door and no one was there. In fact, no one was home at all. On another occasion, I was sitting alone in the living room late at night after 1 a.m. I happened to be looking at the refrigerator. Without warning, no funny feelings or anything on my part, I sat there and watched as a shot glass levitated itself off the surface of the refrigerator. There were 8 shot glasses lined up in 2 rows of 4. One glass in the back row just raised itself up in the air almost 2 inches, hung there in the air for a second as if to make sure I was watching, then flung itself over the back of the fridge to shatter on the wall and leave broken glass scraps all over the floor. I was just frozen. I sat there and watched. Out of nowhere, that glass suddenly just lift up and throw itself against the wall. Again, my girlfriend said that was the duende. He's just telling you that this is his place. She didn't say see anything. She didn't see anything unusual at all about a glass lifting itself into the air. That's just what the dwarf does.
That's crazy. I can imagine um seeing a glass start levitating out of nowhere.
Yeah. So I was seeing some other things about them being uh like deities, or
Hmm.
and which is weird because they used in the article they used deity, but then they also referred to them as daemons. But it went on to say that they were like almost like a spirit guide of sorts, like they're here to help you.
Hmm. You said daemon.
Yeah.
I heard that was another word for demon, and I said something like that.
I mean, I think that it is another word for demon. Daemon, Daimon or
So
On.
maybe that's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So
So,
this basically all just ties in with the fair.
mhm. So do you think the Fae is coming back? Do you think that legend is true?
It could be.
Do you think that they're coming back to seek revenge on us for disrespecting nature?
I mean, we do disrespect a lot of nature by definitely here in the U.S. by cutting down like logging and stuff like that. We do a lot of logging over here, so I mean, it could be very possible.
Yeah. Um, did you have any more for any of these?
I'm looking up something right now, so give me 1 second and I'll possibly do.
Okay.
Um, I think it's very possible where these things can be um out there. Now, I'm curious. Remember that thing when we went to the Green County Museum? I got that weird orb on camera.
Yeah.
What if that's a fairy?
What if what we seen out in the woods that night across from the cemetery was a fairy?
It's very possible.
I don't know. I don't think that that's what that was. I
No,
think what we seen was something completely different.
I think so too. I
So what
think
were you looking up?
I just since we were on the whole fae topic, I was just trying to figure out like what other creatures are like in the fae area. I just
Like what are considered fae?
yeah, I just see mostly just fairies and little people
Yeah.
like that.
I'm sure if we dug deep enough, we'd find like more on the fae,
Yeah.
like more like different kinds of creatures because I'm sure there's more than just the fairies, right?
No, yeah, definitely.
I mean gnomes and well, I mean that's kind of what we've been talking about as little
Dwarves.
people and what was it?
Dwarves.
Dwarves. Yeah,
Dwarves.
dwarves. Elves.
Yes.
Would that be considered little people though?
Wearing elf or
Yeah,
dwarf?
an elf.
I think it depends. Leprechauns. Kind of talked about leprechaun with a thing
Yeah.
from the do shoes. That sounded like a leprechaun to me.
Yeah. But it was like the typical leprechaun.
Uh huh.
But it makes you wonder like where do those ideas come from? They got to come from
Yeah,
somewhere,
they
or
did.
the inspiration at least.
Folklore.
Yeah. Huh. Well, um do you have any more? I don't
I
have any more.
I think everything we covered mostly. Um, well, I have some other. Yeah, I got these right here. There's some theories about what this is. Uh, some like you said, guardians of the forest and the rivers and hills, and also lost civilizations under the earth. That would be crazy. Could you imagine just going under the ground and seeing like a whole civilization?
I mean, they say that there's like the center of the earth is supposed to be isn't there supposed to be like at one part of the earth an entrance to the center of the earth was just supposed to be some sort of like ancient reptilian civilization or something like that.
Yeah. Well, if they're just all aliens.
Maybe. I kind
um,
of feel that way.
Now you don't believe that they can be from a different realm as well, like a interdimensional,
I think it all is part of the same thing. You know what I mean?
interdimensional, spiritual, all this stuff.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah. I
Hmm.
think it's all kind of a part of the same thing, but we have to, in order for us to understand it, we have to be like, this is this, this is this, and this is this.
Yeah, I got you. But I think this was a fun episode. talk
Yeah.
about fairies and the differences between real fairies and Disney fairies. Did we ever do the differences between the Disney fairies and the regular fairies, or did we get off subject?
I think you. No, that was like the first thing that we started with.
I don't think I've ever told you the full details of like the Disney fairies, how they're always helpful and positive and friendly,
Yeah.
and there's no danger with the Disney fairies, unlike um the real fairies.
Yeah.
I think that's it for everything for this episode.
I don't. I think the thing about it that freaks me out is like there's there's stories of them taking people.
Hmm. How many fairies or how many gnomes does it have to be for them to take you?
Wait, what?
how, how many like how many gnomes or fairies does it have to take somebody? Is it
Like
like
how?
a village or just like one magically strong one that can just like drag you? Or like two of them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on how big the fairy is.
Yeah, like the little people might be able to like take two of them to just like drag you and all.
Yeah. But I think it was like mainly children is what they targeted.
Yeah, probably because they're more like maybe kids can see them more, and that's why they target them.
Maybe, or
Because
maybe it
kids
was
are
a
outside more.
maybe it
Like,
was a story to scare and keep in line and to control.
yeah, that's possible too.
But before we do wrap this up, I do have a would you, are you interested?
I'm right.
All right. Would you rather spend one night camping deep in the woods known for fairy lights and strange laughter, or spend a single evening alone inside an old house said to be home to a family of Duende who don't like to be disturbed?
The first one.
The first one. But you can't see it.
It's okay. The second one, they don't like to be disturbed, so I'm not gonna disturb them.
Strange laughter, though.
That would be creepy.
Just in the distance, you just hear.
Yeah, that is kind of creepy.
Yeah, I'm good.
But I think if it's named for that, you're gonna be like, oh, I like to fairy.
I would just I would just be walking around the house, just toppy toppy po, toppy toppy po. All the respect.
Yes, you gotta respect all of them.
But yeah, I think that's it.
I think.
I'll give it.
Um, so I'll give you guys a little hint for the upcoming episode that we're gonna have a date yet or when we're gonna post it, but in the future we are gonna have someone on that's related to the Jersey Devil.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
I'm.
interesting.
That is going to be interesting. I'm excited to have that conversation.
Yes.
The
But
Jersey
we
Devil,
don't know when that's gonna be posted yet, so
right?
it's an upcoming episode.
Yeah. But we want to hear from you guys. You know, if you've ever had an experience or seen something, you know, out of the corner of your eye and swear it wasn't an animal and maybe it was a ghost or a shadow figure
Or Bigfoot.
or Bigfoot. Dude, we had a weird experience. Me and the kids, they wanted to go out Bigfooting,
Yeah.
and we heard this what sounded like a woman. No, first it sounded like it was like this weird howl that kind of went into like this coyote thing, like the way they sound, and Oh, there's a hair in my mouth. And then I had the headphones on. I was doing Estes method, and the kids heard right across the lake something weird, like a howl, and then something went in the water. And then right before we left, on the left side, I heard what sounded like a woman screaming, and it was all on that side of the lake. It wasn't on this side.
Just when did you guys do that?
We went last night.
Damn, you should call me over when I have to guess.
I figured you were probably tired after your after your day.
Half of my day drinking.
Wasn't gonna whatever. um but yeah, you guys can send your story to us at exploringtheunknownpod@outlook.com, or you can give us a call at 412-533-3483. You can leave us a voicemail, and we might just feature your encounter in an upcoming episode.
And also comment down below what topics you would like us to cover.
Yeah. There's probably some stuff out there that we're completely unaware of. I want some weird stuff. I want some out there stuff.
Alrighty, I think that's all for this week.
All right, guys.
Till next time.
Keep exploring the unknown.
That one was actually pretty good.
Was, yeah, I like that one.